There are three great and universal things which make known to us our sustainer. One is the book of the universe. Another is the seal of the prophets. Peace and blessings be upon him. The supreme sign of the book of the universe. The other is the Qur'an of Mighty Stature. Now, we consider the atheist who is listening. It comes to mind that he would think of saying, I do not recognize God, and I do not know the prophet. Peace be upon him. To which we would reply as follows. Since the universe and beings exist, and within them are acts and creation, and since an orderly act cannot occur without an author, a meaningful book cannot be without a scribe, and a skilful embroidery be without an embroiderer. The purposeful acts which fill the universe surely have an author, and the meaningful letters and amazing embroideries which cover the face of the earth and are renewed from season to season have a scribe and an embroiderer. And since two governors directing the same matter spoils the order in that matter being spoiled, and since from a fly's wings to the lamps in the heavens there is perfect order, there must only be one governor, one ruler. For the art and wisdom in everything is so wonderful, it necessitates that the maker of one thing is powerful over all things, to the extent that he knows every matter. Since this is so, if he was not one, there would have to be gods to the number of beings. These would be opposed to and similar to one another, and it would therefore be 100,000 times impossible for this wonderful order not to be broken. Furthermore, since, as is self-evidently apparent, at a command the classes of beings are in motion, in a fashion 1,000 times more well-ordered than an army, each group, from the stars, sun and moon, and their motions to the flowers of the almond, displaying the decorations and uniforms the pre-eternal, all-powerful one has conferred on it, and the motion he has determined 1,000 times more regularly and perfectly than an army. Since this is so, the universe has an absolute ruler behind the veil of the unseen, to whose command its beings look and conform. And since he wishes to make himself known and loved by conscious creatures through the great many works of benevolence and mercy and wonders of art he displays, he will surely make known to them by means of a herald what he desires of them, and what those things are that please him and concern them. But since this is so, he will appoint one of the conscious beings and will proclaim his dominicality through him. He will honor a herald with the proximity of his presence, and make him the means of exhibiting the art which he loves. He will appoint one of them as a teacher in order to inform other conscious beings of those exalted aims and to display his perfections. He will certainly appoint a guide so that the talisman contained in the universe and the riddle of dominicality he has concealed within beings will not remain meaningless. And he will appoint a guide who will teach the purposes contained in the beauties of art he displays and publishes as a spectacle for all to gaze on, so that they do not remain useless and vain. Moreover, in order to announce the things that please him to conscious beings, he will raise one of them to a rank above the others, and will inform him of those things and send him to them. Since reality and wisdom require it to be thus, and the one most worthy to perform this duty was the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. For he actually performed those duties most perfectly, to which fact the world of Islam, which he founded, and the light of Islam, which he showed, are truthful and just witnesses. This necessitates that he should have risen above all the rest of the universe, surpassed all beings, and attained to a rank at which he held a universal, elevated, and all-embracing conversation with the Creator of all beings. Thus, the Ascension expresses this truth as well. In short, since he has formed, arranged and adorned the vast universe in this way, for mighty purposes and sublime aims, such as those mentioned above, and since among beings mankind exists to see this universal dominicality together with all its subtleties, and this supreme divine sovereignty together with all its truths, most certainly that absolute ruler will speak with man. He will inform him of his purposes. Since everyone cannot free themselves from particular, insignificant and lowly matters and rise to the highest and universal position, and therefore cannot themselves receive the ruler's universal address, certain special individuals from among human beings will be appointed to that duty, so that it may be related to in two respects. First, in order to teach human beings, they must be human beings themselves, and in order to be able to receive the address directly, they must be extremely exalted spiritually. Thus, since among those human beings, the one who made known the purposes of the universe's maker most perfectly, disclosed the talisman of the universe, and solved the riddle of creation, and who heralded the sublimity of the sovereignty of dominicality in the best way, was Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him.
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق، خلق الإنسان من علق. اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم، علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.